Good morning. At approximately 6 a.m. today, there was a massive water main break here behind Hinchliffe Stadium. Passaic Valley Water Commission responded immediately and has been working feverishly to find the source of the break. As you may know, these pipes are hundreds of years old. And so unfortunately, this particular pipe, 30-inch, burst, causing flooding in the area and adversely impacting residents in both our north side and Hillcrest sections. But it's been compounded because there are two separate minor water breaks in two different sections of our city that have impacted 3rd Ward residents and 4th Ward residents. But we are cautiously optimistic that we can resolve those situations within the next few hours. But as far as this situation is concerned, as I've stated before, the Passaic Valley Water Commission has been here for over 4 hours, and we're attempting to alleviate any inconvenience and rectify the situation as promptly as possible. To the residents, Hillcrest section, North Side section, we will be distributing free water here at Hinchliffe Stadium, above the actual stadium, adjacent to the Hinchliffe residences at the main gate. So at 12:30 at Hinchliffe Stadium, water distribution will be taking place. I also would like to reach out to the mayors of North Haledon and Prospect Park because their residents have been adversely impacted as well. But I want to commend the police department, the fire department, Public Works Department, Passaic Valley Water Commission, and of course the Office of Emergency Management for responding in immediate fashion and working to resolve this expeditiously. At this time, it was a nod to the two Eastside High School graduates. Where's the Davila and Lilies? But I'd like to call on our Executive Director of the Passaic Valley Water Commission, Jim Muller, for an update on where we are with the operation. Jim.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So as the mayor stated, we had a water main break early this morning. We've been in response mode. We've set up incident command. I have my staff on site as well as out in the system. We are working diligently and safely to isolate this break. It's a 30-inch line. There's a lot of flow that goes through that. So it's taking us some time. We have managed to reduce the leak by about half, and we've had reported that there's certain locations in Paterson that have seen an increase in pressures. So when we fully isolate the leak, we anticipate pressures to be restored in a large part of the city. Out of an overabundance of caution, we have issued a boil water alert for the city. I hope to remove that as soon as we can, and we've reported this to New Jersey DEP as well. So that's where we are. Once we do isolate the break, our next step will be to excavate. It is a difficult location right next to Hinchliffe. It's on the side of a hill. It's about 10 to 15 feet deep in a wooded area. So we have our emergency contractor, JF Kramer, is on site. They're mobilized. As soon as we can isolate it, they will excavate and begin to assess the severity and extent of the leak and effectuate repairs. We anticipate that to take at least a day, and it may go beyond that once we actually isolate the line and see what we're up against. That's where we are now. I don't know, Mr. Mayor, if there's more you wanted to say.
We can take questions immediately after.
Do you want to?
Yeah. Thank you.
Conclude?
Thanks, Jim.
Okay.
Yes. At this time, I'd like to hear from our Office of Emergency Management Coordinator, Troy Ayers, and thanks, Pat Battle, for joining us.
Good morning, everybody. So at the present moment, we are getting together with all our partners, police, fire, DPW, City Council, and OEM. We will start at 12:30 at 1-27 Jasper Street to give out water. I want to be very clear. Every apartment in the Hillcrest and Northside area will get 2 cases of water per apartment. I'm sorry to say, if you come from the 3rd or 4th Ward, you will not get water because you're not affected right now. Your water pressure is back. As of 5 minutes ago, those leaks are fixed. The whole entire city is under a boil water advisory under emergency precautions. If you have any problems, any issues, you have questions, feel free to call my office. We're still staffed. We'll be fully staffed today and this evening, 973-321-1410. All of your tax money is working right now to make sure we're good, and we're going to keep it that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Coordinator Ayers. We also would like to hear from our Fire Department Deputy Chief McCombs, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, the fire services with the hydrants in the area have been affected by the water leak. We have been working with our county agencies to bring in water tankers, so you might see a different type of fire engine going through the city. That is just merely a precaution. If there's a major incident, we need to make sure that we still have water. These vehicles will have the ability to carry thousands of gallons of water to an incident if needed. Other than that, no other fire services have been affected. If there are any other major emergencies you feel, just make sure you dial 911, and we'll get somebody out to you to assist as soon as we can. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Also, a robocall has been issued, and through social media, we've been informing our residents. I want to thank the council leadership team of our council president, Dr. Elisa Mims, and our vice president, Maritza David, who've been in constant communication with me for several hours, helping to inform residents relative to the severity of the situation. So at this time, I'd like to ask our council president for an update. Council President Mims.
Thank you, Mayor. I am joined by our Council Vice President, Maritza Davila, Councilman of our 3rd Ward, Alex Mendez, if you'll just join me to speak on behalf of the council. So I just want to commend the Mayor, Passaic Valley Water Commission, OEM, Fire, DPW, and everybody that's involved. When this first happened, they were on it immediately. We know that it's an inconvenience for our residents, but we're working diligently to ensure that you are up and running and safe. Your safety is our priority. We want to make sure that we get it done right. We may not know how it started, but we know how it's going to get finished. It's going to get finished immediately, efficiently, and effectively. Thank you so much. God bless you, and God bless the great city of Paterson.
Thank you, Council President. So in times of crisis, whether it's the pandemic or a massive water break situation like this one, Paterson has a way of rising to the occasion. Why? Because we collaborate with multiple entities to ensure that our residents are safe, and this is no different. So again, Passaic Valley Water Commission, thank you for responding in rapid fashion, along with our OEM coordinator, Troy Ayers, our fire department, police department, and public works department. Want to remind all residents that at 12:30, water will be distributed to residents from the north side and the Hillcrest here at Hinchliffe Stadium. Jay Dow.
Mayor, can you just talk about the issue of aging infrastructure
Yes.
here in the state's
Thank you
third
for
largest
raising that
city?
topic. Thank you, Jay. That's a very salient point that you raised. Yes, the city is very old, and as a result, we do have pipes that are essentially hundreds of years old, in fact, dating back to the 1800s. But there is a plan in place to address these aging lines. In fact, to elaborate a little further, I'll call back our Executive Director, Jim Muller, to expound on what could be done to address some of these age-old pipes. Jim Muller.
Thank you, it is a great question. So we have initiated in the last 2 years a comprehensive assessment of our water main and transmission mains that run not only through Paterson, but through Clifton, Passaic, Prospect Park, Lodi, and North Arlington, our retail areas. And we have a plan in place and an approved budget to begin to invest in modernizing that system and replacing those pipes. One of the locations that's actually in design right now is right here. These pipes that are experiencing this break, we do have a plan to replace them, modernize them, realign them, kind of move it away from the stadium as well. That, like the mayor said, they're from the 1880s. They've been here a long time, and we need to get in there and do that. It is millions of dollars, so we're going to phase this in a way that doesn't overburden ratepayers. We try to do it responsibly, but to try to also address the highest areas of need. So this is one of our key projects that I hope to bid out next year. Like I said, it's in design. We're at about 30% design, and we'll progress to the balance of this year, do the coordination we need, and bid that out next year.
Jim, how many people in Paterson and Hamilton and Prospect Park are affected total?
So
the boil advisory and also the low water pressure, no water pressure.
So the boil water advisory is just for Paterson, just to restate, and it's about 160,000
Yes.
people in Paterson that would be impacted by that. As Coordinator Ayers mentioned, we do have pressure in large areas. You know, we can provide water. It's just out of an overabundance of caution, they should boil for 1 minute before using it for cooking or brushing your teeth or something like that. And we're going to try to come out of that as soon as possible. 160,000 people in Paterson are impacted by the boil water. In terms of North Haledon and Prospect Park, they have experienced low pressure. We have gotten some complaints, but it hasn't been drastic enough to declare it boil water. And again, as we isolate this leak, we do anticipate those pressures to be restored to a large part of the area, including Paterson.
Mr. Muller, quick question. Can you talk about
at the very beginning of this, what was the most number of people that were without water service or had low pressure? And then what are those numbers now?
So I don't have those exact numbers for you. We can try to get that.
Ballpark?
I can't give you the ballpark right now. It was quite a few neighborhoods, as they mentioned, Hillcrest and Northside were two areas that were absolutely impacted. We did get some complaints on areas beyond that, but I don't want to give you a number. I can get that for you. I don't want to give you a number off the top of my head. But those are definitely two. Hi, Pat.
Hi there, how are you, sir?
Good.
What's the size of this main? Is it 30 inches, my understanding?
Yes, 30-inch
Is
diameter.
it potentially undermining any other structures in this vicinity?
At this point, no. We don't have any indication that any structural issues are with the retaining wall by Hinchliffe Stadium.
Right.
We don't have any indication of that. We are directing the water away, and it is going to the Passaic River right now. Okay. And we have contacted New Jersey DEP as well in terms of the impact and the break. So we've made our notifications, but we have no indication right now that any other structures are being impacted.
And to your question, Pat, thank you. Very valid. I've canceled all of the summer camps in this area, and tonight's New Jersey Jackals game has been canceled here at Hinchliffe Stadium as a result. Darla Miles.
Hello. A couple
Hi,
things.
Darla.
Just want to be clear about where service stands right now, because you said there were some initial neighborhoods that were impacted, and
Yeah.
now, so can you just clarify when we go on at noon,
Yeah.
who is still being impacted?
So you have the Hillcrest section and the North Side section, not too far from here, clearly, because this is where it occurred. Now, I stated earlier that there were minor water main breaks in the 3rd and 4th wards, but those are minor. In the Riverside section has been impacted. Those are minor, and we're cautiously optimistic that we can resolve those in relatively rapid fashion.
Neighbors are worried about it being Saturday when they get service back. What's the timeline on that?
Well, originally we were thinking 24 hours, but I feel like the Passaic Valley Water Commission crew has been working feverishly to make sure that we can mitigate the time that it'll take. And I can have Jim elaborate a little further on that operation. Oh yeah.
So we've been working to isolate the break. We've reduced the flow by about half from the original amount. So we are seeing pressures come back up in Paterson. Once we fully isolate it, we expect a large part of the city to be fully restored. Back to normal pressure, much better than what it's been. Go ahead. Am I not answering?
People, they're going to ask us, so I'm going to ask you
Yeah.
timeline. What's the timeline?
In terms of isolation, we're hoping it will isolate in the next couple of hours.
Okay.
Again, we're reducing it, which is great. We're seeing progress. And then the actual repair will depend on what we find. But that by isolating it, water will move through other means to get to those areas, and that's the key, is preventing it from coming through here. It'll make its way to a large part of the city through other means.
I'm sorry, Jay, just one more. I just want to, in layman's terms, where people want to understand what that experience is going to be like in their homes. So if they don't have water now, and then if you have it partially isolated, what is that experience like? So what should people expect to experience with the water pressure in these main affected areas in their homes while you do these different levels of mitigation?
Yeah, it should increase. So for those who don't have water, we're hoping that water service will be restored to some point. For those with low pressure, we're hoping that pressure goes up, and we've seen that in certain areas like St. Joe's Hospital. We've been in touch with them. Water pressure has been increasing there, which is great. They never lost water pressure, but it was low, so we were in constant contact with critical facilities like that. So we're seeing that come up significantly. And again, once we fully isolate, because it's not fully isolated, we expect that to continue.
So the minor breaks, is that a ripple effect from the first break? Is that how did that transpire?
I don't know. I think
Those are
they're
not
independent.
related?
They're independent.
Okay.
There's no connection there, right?
Big Callaway, no, there's no connection between what I alluded to earlier relative to the minor water breaks on the other side of town, Riverside, 3rd, 4th wards, and also this area. We have with us a commissioner for the Passaic Valley Water Commission and Councilwoman, former Mayor Ruby Encott.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say thank you for everyone for coming, but I did call our director this morning, Jim Mahler. He started writing down areas that was affected. Now, I'm in the 4th ward, but I'm on 27th Street. I had water, but it was low pressure. A block over from me did not have water, East 26th Street. Then I got called from Hamilton Avenue. Between Rosa Parks and East 18th Street, they do not have water. So our director, Jim Mahler, is trying to pinpoint the areas where there are not water at all, because some of the areas do have water, but it's low pressure, but they do have water. So Jim is doing that now. Thank you, Director, for putting that together. But I think it's beyond the Hillcrest, beyond the second ward, beyond the but they're isolated. I mean, they're in certain areas, and not all the areas in the fourth ward are affected, but they got low water pressure. So I just want to make sure, he's going to try to make sure he pinpoints areas that do not have water, and that's what you're trying to get to, right, Director?
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
Director, Mayor,
Yes,
or
Jake.
Muller,
Jake.
are we thinking that any of the minor breaks in wards 1 and 2 are connected to this?
Well, the minor breaks are in third.
I understand.
Third, and fourth.
But it's
No,
all
we
part
don't
of the
believe
same
that they're
system,
connected.
so I'm asking
Yeah, we
you.
don't believe it's connected at all. But what I can say is this, and I'll say it safely. Best case scenario, this evening, this situation could get resolved. But to manage everyone's expectations, we're still looking at sometime tomorrow. That's why we will be distributing water today, and then we will make the decision based on where we are at with Passaic Valley Water Commission. So there's going to be coordination between Passaic Valley Water Commission and OEM, our Office of Emergency Management. Nick Calloway.
I only asked because the resident asked me.
Yeah.
Any possibility the earthquake may have caused any of this?
That's interesting. That is a very valid point. I have Jim. I'm not a meteorologist.
So, it certainly doesn't help when those earthquakes happen. I think it was a 3.0 over in Hillsdale, and then there was a follow-up 2.7. Certainly does not help. We have seen an increase in breaks this summer. There's other things that can impact that. Fires, for one. Paving. Sometimes it's water intensive and they'll go to local hydrants, and it's not always the best idea with older infrastructure. So there's a lot of factors. So I can't say, yes, it's all the earthquake. It certainly doesn't help. That's about all I can say.
Anyone
Yeah, I
speak
can see the
Spanish?
headline now, blame it on the earthquake, right?
Anyone in
Otis,
Spanish to say a couple of words for us? In Spanish, anyone speak Spanish that can address us?
Buenas tardes, soy concejal Marisa Dávila, la vicepresidente del Consejo. Estamos aquí hoy hablando de que se ha roto una tubería que es mayor aquí en el área del segundo barrio, cerca aquí del estadio Hinchliffe. Tenemos el alcalde, el director de la Comisión de Agua del Condado de Passaic, hablando de lo que va a ocurrir en las próximas horas. Varios barrios como Hillcrest Section en el segundo barrio, en el tercer barrio, que no necesariamente tiene que ver con esto, sino con otra tubería que se ha roto a nivel de las calles, ¿ok? Hay varias cosas que están ocurriendo ahorita mismo, y para todo el mundo, lo más importante para los constituyentes de nosotros de la ciudad de Paterson, también Helden, hay una porción de North Helden también, Prospect Park, muy importante de que hay un aviso para asegurar que la agua, por favor, antes de usarla para o bañarse o para cocinar o lavarse los dientes, por favor, hervirla. OEM, que es el departamento que va a estar encargado de dar agua a las secciones del segundo barrio, en el primer barrio, por favor, los que tengan necesidad de tercer y cuarto barrio pueden dirigirse al condado, a la comisión de agua, pero ahorita mismo, como les puedo decir, todo está en trabajo. No sabemos exactamente la hora en que va esto a ser arreglado. Ha habido baja presión, en algunos lados se está aumentando ahora la presión, pero en realidad la ciudad de Paterson, que tiene 160,000 constituyentes, han sido afectados de una u otra manera, así que por favor a todos le dirigimos de parte de la ciudad de Paterson que por favor trabajen con nosotros, que sabemos que esto es muy importante y que va a tomar unas cuantas horas, posiblemente hasta mañana, pero creo que el director Jim ha dicho que van a tratar lo más que se pueda para poder arreglar esto lo más pronto posible. Muchas gracias.
Anunciaron que iban a estar dando agua a los residentes, ¿le puedes decir a dónde?
Sí, vamos a estar dando agua de parte del departamento de la Comisión de Agua, junto con nuestro director coordinador Ayers, específicamente aquí en el 180, aquí, right here, 186?
No, 1-27 Jasper Street. 1-27 Jasper Street.
1-27
Jasper.
de la Jasper Street, pueden venir a recoger agua, pero por favor, específicamente esto es para el primer barrio y las personas que viven en el segundo barrio en el área de la Hillcrest Section. la sección, esas partes son las más que han sido afectadas. Entendemos que hay en otras partes, en el cuarto barrio, como dijo nuestra comisionada concejal Rubicá, en que también en el cuarto barrio ella ha recibido llamadas, pero por favor, ahorita mismo el coordinador Ayers ha dicho que pueden venir al 1-27 aquí de la Jasper, donde van a poder casas de dos por apartamento, van a ser dos paquetes de agua. Desafortunadamente así se va a comenzar y ya entonces ahí podemos dejar de saber más. Muchas gracias. Coordinator Ayers, do they need to bring identification? Por favor, importante para todos esos, por favor traiga su identificación. Y entendemos, como le dije, han habido otros barrios también que han sido afectados, pero específicamente esta agua que se va a dar hoy va a ser para el primer barrio, el segundo barrio, especialmente la sección de Hinchliffe Stadium. Muchas gracias. Okay, va a haber, tienen que tener su identificación y van a tener que firmar que han recibido el agua. Muchas gracias.
So once again, I want to reassure our residents that we are taking this very seriously. We've been working on this for several hours, and we are coordinating our efforts. We are cautiously confident that we can resolve this relatively sooner than we originally thought. And once again, the reason why we're distributing water at 12:30 is for anyone who's been adversely impacted so that we can alleviate any inconvenience. If you are a senior citizen at Brookslow Apartments and are unable to access this site, we will deliver water to you. We can also deliver water to seniors at the Hinchliffe residences as well. But again, I'd like to state, Passaic Valley Water Commission, in collaboration with the Fire Department, Police Department, Public Works Department, and the Office of Emergency Management, is working feverishly to rectify this situation as promptly as possible. Thank you.